A Surrogate for Billionaire novel audiobook. Chapter 1. To Julianna. Julie, are you alright? I heard my little brother Noah's voice. I wanted to cry. After all, I'll never be alright without him because I have no money to spend on his disease. Shit. I am alright, darling. What do you wanna eat? I asked him as he came to me and hugged me. I need bread with cheese, Julie. I looked down at his small body and my heart tightened because how am I supposed to save him? I love him and I can't even think about a day without him. I smiled at him and nodded before going into the kitchen. After breakfast, I went to the hospital with Noah. As I entered the hospital, I saw Dr. Peterson. He was one who did and helped everything about Noah. Good morning, little one, he said with a smile, and Noah giggled happily because he really liked this Dr. Peterson. Good morning, Pete, Noah joked as he ran towards the doctor. Then he picked up Noah and nodded at me before going into Noah's ward. After some time, Dr. Peterson came. Julianna, can I talk to you for a moment? He asked and I nodded, but this is the thing that I fear the most in this life. I have no idea what the doctor wants to tell me, but I knew it was all about Noah's health. Maybe the news will be good or bad, but I was just scared. Noah's health is getting worse. We should do the surgery as soon as possible. My heart shattered into pieces as I heard him. Unintentionally, tears welled in my eyes. Why did this happen to us? Julianna, I know you have money problems. I am so sorry. Dr. Peterson patted my shoulder. I sighed because no matter what, I am going to find the money for his surgery and make him better. Doctor, I'll find money, I said as I wiped my tears. You have a maximum of 10 months. It will be great if you could find it soon. I nodded and looked at Noah through the glass wall, and he was smiling at a nurse while chatting. I can't let anything happen to him because he is the only person that I have. Noah should stay in the hospital from today onwards. I was still looking at Noah. He is just so cute and he will be a handsome man in the future, so as his sister I should just protect him. Alright, doctor. With it I went into Noah's ward and sat on the bed next to him. Am I dying, Julie? I forced my tears back because I didn't want to cry in front of him. I smiled forcefully and took him onto my lap as I started to caress his silky dark brown hair. No. You're going to recover so soon, okay? I kissed his head and rested my chin on his head. That's great, he started to giggle. I clenched my jaws because I didn't want to cry. My heart was hurting and it felt like someone was squeezing my heart so tightly. I love you so much, Noah, I said while kissing his little cheek. I love you so much more, Julie. With that, he kissed my forehead. I bit my lower lip so hard because of the pain I am feeling in my heart, but no pain could match the pain in my heart. Noah, you have to stay here for a few months. Is it okay, darling? I asked, and Noah nodded with a happy smile. I will play with Pete all day, he said while jumping. I smiled at him and got up to leave. But Julie, you will come to see me every day, right? He pouted while biting his little lips. Yeah, I will. With it I left the hospital and went home. I had to go to university, but my mind was in a mess, so I went straight home. After I came home I jumped onto the bed and started to cry because I was tired and I was scared for Noah's life. After I was done crying I went into the bathroom and washed my face and changed into new clothes. Then I heard a knock on the door and went to open the door. As I opened the door I saw Auntie Elise. Julianna, you were crying. Weren't you? She asked as I smiled forcefully. Then she asked what happened and I told everything that my heart was feeling and about my helplessness. She let out a deep sigh and pulled me to a warm hug. She was really like a mother. Always cared for me and Noah, but now she is getting old and I can't bother her with our things. Julie, I am sorry for telling you this, but I can't stay without even letting you know, and I also don't have much money, she said with a sigh, and I didn't care about anything and all I wanted was money. I wanted to pay for Noah's surgery as soon as possible. Tell me, Auntie Elise. At this point, I will do anything for my brother's life. Even if I have to sell my body, I said as I took her hands and placed them on my chest. I don't know, Julie, but I'll tell you, and you make the decision. I nodded at her quickly and she sighed. A wealthy family looking for a surrogate. They want to have an heir as soon as possible and they will pay $100,000 to the surrogate, she said and looked at my eyes. My heart tightened and I looked down. A surrogate. So do I have to give birth to a baby for an unknown man? What are their conditions? I asked. I looked at Auntie Elisa's face and I knew she is sad and she didn't want to see me like that. She was the woman who taught me to wait until our fated ones, and once they came our lives will be blissful. You have everything they need. Beauty, intelligence, and virginity. And you have those things beyond what they expect. I closed my eyes and thought about it carefully. So I have to give my virginity. It's okay, everything will be fine, and I am doing this for my brother. It's just giving birth to live to save one. I agree. I will be their surrogate, but please don't let Noah know anything about this, I said as I smiled at her. I saw the hurt expression on her face, but she nodded at me and smiled forcefully. She really cared about me and I will always be grateful to her. I'll let them know and take you there. I nodded as she got up and left. I sighed and looked up at the ceiling. Is this what's going to happen to our lives? Mom, I lost my parents and now I am suffering because of that loss. UAGHH. Everything will be fine as long as Noah is safe and healthy. To Ryan. When are you going to give us a great grandchild? We are already very close to our deathbed. Ugh. When can I have a peaceful sleep? Why do they want a great grandchild? They already have a grandson. I don't want grandma. I am not ready to have a child, I said as I got up from my bed and walked towards her. Are you going to die with your virginity? Everyone knows Ryan. They think you're gay, my grandmother cried as she hit my chest hard. Ouch, grandma, it hurts. I said as she smirked at me and started to cry loudly. UAGHH, drama queen. Then both my grandfather and father came into my room as they frowned at me. See, I only asked for a great grandchild, but he shouted at me, she sobbed while hugging my dad. I sighed and looked at them. Ryan, do our last wish, baby. We want to see a little prince or a princess before we die. It was my grandpa who started to act this time. I don't have a woman, so how am I going to have a baby? I can't do it alone. You know that fact, right? I said because I wanted them to give up on their last wish. All right. You marry Lydia. She'll give birth to your baby. What the fuck? Lydia. That cunning and disgusting whore. No. Not her. I don't like women like her and she sleeps with men every day. You. I let out my disgust and looked at my grandma who suggested it to me. Her face was also covered with disgust. Alright then, do you have someone you like? Why can't they understand me? If I had a woman that I like, I would have already fucked her countless times and got her pregnant. No, I don't like any woman, I said and looked away from their direction. Oh my god. My poor boy. Is he gay? Are the rumors true? I heard my grandma's low voice. I am not gay either, I said as I looked at her again. She sighed. Alright then, have a baby. I'll choose a woman for you with great beauty, intelligence, and especially with virginity. My heart started to beat so fast as she said that. Why was that? What the fuck? Before I could finish what I wanted to say, grandma cut me off. There is no need for your answer, and be ready. With that, grandpa and grandma left my room. Welcome to download the Bravonovel app. Read the novel A Surrogate for Billionaire online and get the latest updates.